Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on this Thursday, the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, 2022. And today will go down as the day where the sun appears for what seems to be the last time because we've got some problems going into next week. We've been talking about this for days about getting into a long stretch of what I would refer to as gloom and doom weather. Was kind of hoping to be a little optimistic that we could see some slight improvement on Sunday. It really is not only not looking like that, but we're going to have some onshore flow problems at least into the first part of next week. Sorry to tell you this, but you know what? Put that aside for a moment and focus on the fact that as we look at the satellite loop in the northeast, there's not a whole lot of clouds around. It should be a very, very nice day of sunshine, and temperatures are going to make it up above 70 in most places. Even coastal areas could see temperatures well up into the 60s before any kind of sea breeze comes in. So that's going to be most welcome. We should have sunshine pretty much from start to finish. I'm not seeing any issues from there. And notice the blow up of clouds and with showers and thunderstorms from overnight out in the plains. This is our next storm system that is moving eastward. We have a block, and this is what happens in the springtime. And this particular block is formidable and is going to take a long time for it to break down. It's just that simple. So as we take a look at the radar, this is as of 7:15 a.m. Eastern time. It's quiet up and down the eastern seaboard at the moment, and here's our area of rain and thunderstorms through Missouri, from back through Oklahoma. We've got a number of flash flood warnings that are up in parts of those two states and also into northwestern Arkansas. You got a little squall line there, showers and thunderstorms rolling through the middle part of the state of Arkansas. Again, this is all low pressure that is moving to the east, unlike the prior systems that we've seen in the last couple of weeks, which have been going up in the plains and heading up into Canada, well west of the Great Lakes. And then by the time they get here, we really don't get much with it. This one is going to go straight east and go right underneath us with a big high to the north and a long fetch of easterly winds. So definitely not on the fun side. Storm Prediction Center today has got severe weather risk from northeast Texas, northwest Louisiana into Arkansas. We'll see that playing out this morning with that squall line, and there's going to be more later today, and the slight risk that runs into western Tennessee and western Kentucky. This is also, by the way, coming with not a particularly overly elevated tornado risk, just a 2 to 5% tornado risk, and up to a 10% risk of hail. Wind is the bigger issue with this particular round of severe weather. Now, the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow has, and this is covers it from Friday morning into Saturday morning, has a very large area of slight risk of severe weather covering much of the southeast, going all the way up into the southern half of Virginia, back into Kentucky, over into southern West Virginia, and you see the marginal risk extends northward from there into just about the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area on the northern end into southwest PA, but then it just sharply cuts off after that. And again, this is really reflecting the track of the surface low, which is going to wind up, if you just kind of wanted to do it off this map and you knew nothing else, your surface low is sort of tracking like this, and your severe weather is going to be down here, and here is to the north is where you're going to wind up getting into those long fetch northeast to east winds from off the ocean. As far as rainfall is concerned, WPC is actually up the amounts of rain to bringing an inch and a half up to about New York City and all of New Jersey, back through just about all of PA, and we've got a couple of areas in central PA, south central PA, showing 2+ inches of rainfall, and also along the New Jersey coast. And we're seeing lower amounts getting sharply cut off to the north, but it looks like the inch of rain pushes up into the Hudson Valley, up into the middle Hudson Valley, and into southwestern Connecticut. And going back through Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, we're talking about inch and a quarter, inch and a half rain amounts, also up in the northern plains, and then also back across the northern part of the U.S. Through the Rockies, precip amounts fairly robust, and still nothing to speak of as far as precip in the southwest. So let's just take a look here. I'm going to show you the European's upper air to give you an idea of what the problem is. And I've backtracked it a couple of days. There's your upper low in Kansas. This is by this evening. And you'll notice that there's an trough that's swinging through eastern Canada. It completely misses that upper low. And the upper low just gets just basically left behind, sitting there in Virginia. And we've got you just kind of follow the upper air winds, and this is Sunday morning. We're still getting winds counterclockwise in the upper atmosphere that are coming from the south and from the southeast and east. That is not going to be conducive to improving weather conditions for Mother's Day. Also, the track of the low is going to put us in line for rain. Once it gets in here on Friday, it's probably going to rain fairly steadily right into Saturday. And then as we move into next week, that upper low is going nowhere. It's just sort of very slowly drifting southward off the North Carolina coast, and we continue to have these upper air winds that are from the east. And in the meantime, there's a big ridge that's building up from Louisiana northeastward up into eastern Canada. So the outcome here is going to be that places to the north, say well up into upstate New York, back through the Great Lakes and in eastern Canada, are going to have nice weather, and it's also going to be very warm. We're probably going to see temperatures up there in the 80s, while we're dealing with winds coming in from off the ocean and clouds that probably will keep temperatures relatively subdued. It's going to be a very, very frustrating stretch going forward. We've had a lot of days in the last 5 weeks where we've been dealing with this sort of what I refer to as the gloom and doom scenario, where it doesn't necessarily rain all the time, but it's cloudy and damp and dismal. And that's kind of how I'm seeing this here. In fact, both overnight model runs now suggest that this low, with rain coming in Friday morning, you see it here, reaching New York City Friday morning. The low is still well back into Indiana. It takes its time moving eastward. One low gets left behind. A new low center forms there in southern Chesapeake Bay. And now we're going through Friday night into Saturday. More rain. And then the low moves offshore. And again, that slow southward drift is going to keep, at least now, according to what I'm seeing on much of the models, wants to keep rain into at least part of Sunday, especially from New York City on south. And even going into next week on Monday, we're still dealing with these arms coming in from off the ocean, sweeping in from east to west, that at the very least are going to keep us in clouds, and we're probably going to have to watch for the possibility of rain moving in from time to time, coming in from the east, I should say, and moving to the west. We're probably going to see arms of light rain from time to time moving in from off the ocean into the first part of next week. Doesn't go away. So if that's the case, as I said, it's going to be problematic. And the other thing is, once it starts raining, temperatures are going to be down in the 50s. And in fact, in some places, they may actually get down to near or even just under 50. So we're really talking raw, damp, miserable weather going forward, starting on Friday. And again, I'm being pessimistic here for Sunday. Unless I see something different later today, it's hard for me to imagine we're going to wind up seeing much, if any, improvement for Mother's Day. Sorry, folks. Just a messenger here. Tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll review all of this and see if there are any changes in the weather outlook going forward. Renato Rayo will be sitting in for Joe Rayo, who's busy doing library talks, and he'll be back on Sunday, as we will also be back on Sunday after today. So that's at 7:30 Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. Have a great day.